It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. Y'all, we're starting a new week today. It is a Monday. You can tell by my shirt. It is a Metal Monday. Metal makes Mondays better, everybody. You can get it in the merch store. I love Mondays, y'all. It gets us kicked off on the right path for the upcoming week. And today I have a very special Metal Monday for you. I am going back to music from Jinjer today, and I'm happy that you are with me. So, Jinjer, this is a band from Ukraine that I first got to know a few years ago, early on in the life of the Daily Doug. It was episode 67 that I first heard their song Pisces. And I got to tell you, y'all, that's an enjoyable video if you want to go back to the early days of the Daily Doug. I was absolutely floored by what I heard, the power and the range of the band, especially the vocals from Tatiana. Y'all, it was awesome. So I next heard their song Home Back in episode 344. That was in February of 2022, now over 3 years ago. And I did that episode at that time because it was when Russia had invaded Ukraine. And although it wasn't much, it was my way of supporting the people of Ukraine. And even though that song was released in 2019, it gave great perspective of the experience of the people in Ukraine amid continued injustice and unprovoked hardships, you know? So this week, I am again turning to Jinjer for a few reasons. One, the war in Ukraine is still going on, and the actions of the United States government recently has really appalled me as a citizen of this country. And I wanted to again hear music from a powerful group of musicians who are from Ukraine and lift up their voices as much as I am able to. The second reason why I'm returning to them at this particular point in time is that March is Women's History Month. And this is part of my celebration of the contributions that women make in the arts and in all aspects of life. I am trying to include more of their music by women, here on the channel. This month on our fan favorites over on Patreon, we're doing this as well. Our fan favorites theme for this month is music by women, and I'm very much looking forward to diving into these songs that I have not yet heard, and this is going to be one of them, y'all. Perennial is the song that I am listening to today. It comes from an EP called Micro that Jinjer released in January of 2019. 9 months later, they would release an album called Macro, which became their third full studio album. This particular song was released as a single, and it was also treated with an official video back in 2019. And to date, that video has been viewed more than 11 million times on YouTube. But I'm not going to look at that one right now, y'all. Today, I'm going to take the opportunity to hear this song being performed live. Both of my previous reactions to Jinjer were to studio tracks that the band had released, and I am quite curious to observe them in their natural habitat, in their element, and on stage doing their thing. So we're going back to Wacken, y'all. The open air concert venue in northern Germany. This is where I've reacted to so many great performances over the life of the channel. Jinjer performed at the Wacken Open Air Festival in the summer of 2019, and this footage that we're going to see is from their concert appearance at that time. I'm excited. We've got Tatiana Shmelyuk on vocals. I'm going to struggle with these names, y'all, but I'll do my best. Roman Ibram Khalilov is on guitar. Eugene Abdukhanov is on the bass, and Vlad, let's call him Vlad, Ulasevich is on the drums. This is going to be Perennial from Jinjer, and they are doing it live from back in 2019. Here we go.
Dankeschön, Germany.
You're welcome. Dankeschön.
Well,
I know that one.
with the next song, we must say goodbye to you. But rather not goodbye.
It's their set closer.
See you next time.
Okay. Let's see what they got for their closing song of their set.
This autumn feels like funeral to me.
This autumn feels like a funeral to me.
And a song of grief. And not for what has
And
passed.
not for what has passed, but for what shall
But
last.
for what shall last.
Okay. Look at them go in the crowd. God. It's not soul, it's dough. As the last leaf is falling off her head. And then she sings like that. Woo! That's a C sharp. Goes up to D half step. And then F sharp. F natural. That's a symmetrical set. I kept hearing that as though. Goodbye, she screams. So please come back to celebrate this festival of life. So it goes up by a half step, then up a major third, and then down another half step. Totally cool. See, that sounds like do because of the way the scale works. And that sounds like flat 6. Now they're messing with me because now they're actually treating F sharp like do.
My biggest source of confusion. The reason of decay and disillusion.
And that sounds like 4. 1, F sharp. I'm going to call it that, at least for now. 6. No, we're not dead. Just enjoying coma. From the ashes of my roots. That's amazing. This is poetry of youth. This is poetry of me and you.
Thank you so much, fucking.
And that's how they
We've heard a lot
end.
of great things about you, but it's about expectations, man. You're fucking amazing. And stay
fucking amazing.
amazing. Thank you so much, and see you someday. Mwah.
She is so out of breath. She deserves to be out of breath. Holy crap, y'all. It's not quite the concert finisher that I thought it might be. But man, that was powerful. You know, I don't have my keyboard camera turned on today, but I got to show y'all what I heard. Let's see. Yeah. So you got a C sharp, they went up to D, and then they went to F sharp, and then F natural. Those were the chords that I was hearing in some of those sections. And when I say it's a symmetrical set, think of that. We go up a half step, up a minor third, and up a half step. From the top note, if we go down, guess what? A half step, a minor third, and a half step. The intervals are the same whether you go up or down. So it's 0, 1, 4, 5, and 0, 1, 4, 5. How about that? It's really the harmonic minor, the upper version of the harmonic minor scale, and it's why I thought that they was sol to lay to sol to do. I thought that was do. And it ended up being, I think, do once they got into it, the F sharp, which makes a lot of sense to me. So there you go, friends. That's musically what I heard from that really popped out at me. The lyrics are quite something. It's helpful to have them along along that I can look at, because it's difficult sometimes to understand the language, especially when she's singing that way. The song is about going through a long winter and experiencing seasonal depression. The word perennial itself is defined, or at least it can be defined, as something that is continuing or recurring, right? Something you can count on. It happens again in cycles, all like we're used to. And the seasons that we experience are perennial, right? So are the winter blues that so many of us experience during this time of year. And it's interesting that I'm doing this on a day like today, this Monday. It's March 10th today. The weather is starting to turn warmer where we are. In fact, we have our windows open, except for in here right now. We're enjoying the fresh air. It's in the 60s today. How about that? And I'll admit, y'all, it does get you in a better mood to have the fresh air coming in, to have the warm sunshine out there instead of the cold and the snow and the ice and the not too much daylight throughout a 24-hour period. We're inching closer to that daylight, right? And it does make you feel better. So the band is currently celebrating the release of their 5th studio album. I almost went to something from that album, but this song has been requested of me for a long time, and so I thought, if I'm getting back to Jinjer, let me start with one that people have been wanting me to get to for a while. That's why I did Perennial today. But their new album is called Duel, and it came out about a month ago. I kind of missed it because I was more interested at the time in Dream Theater's new album coming out, and I missed this one. It's called Duel, and I read briefly about it, and I'm really interested in hearing these songs. The music that they've produced is largely inspired by the history of Ukraine and Eastern Europe, as well as their own experiences during this ongoing war as internationally recognized musicians. Like, what are these people going to say? You know, they feel that, and I'm quite eager to hear what their sounds are as they're expressing those feelings and those emotions and those experiences. But I think that's going to be a different video. Not today, y'all. But I do want to get to music from that album. If you have a favorite from the new album, let me know, and I will try to get it in the queue, as they say. But today, that's going to be all for me. I very much enjoyed getting back to Jinjer, these great musicians from Ukraine, just speaking truth to power. And talk about power, y'all. They've got it in spades. And I think she's one of the better leaders, like vocal leaders, front people of a metal band that's working today. I think she's great. She's got a lot of range in her vocal abilities, and it gives the band a lot to play with in terms of how they move in and out of different types of sounds. and it makes for a wonderful listen. So there you go, friends. I have enjoyed Perennial from Jinjer today. I hope you did as well, and I thank you for being with me. We'll see you next time on another edition of the Daily Doug.